everybody, and welcome to today's Scapula Push-Up Challenge. I want to start things off with a big mahalo to our sponsor, Par Hawaii. They are doing a whole lot of stuff to help keep all of our programs running and help keep y'all healthy and fit through this entire pandemic. Okay, so now we are going to find some extra space, right, as we get ready for our warm-up, and we demo one more time what a scapula push-up is. So we'll have Renee here demonstrating. You're going to assume the normal push-up position, just as you had, and you're going to push up with your shoulder blades like this, and then go back down and up and back down. And for the modified version, just like with the normal push-up, you can do it from your knees instead of from your feet. Now, if you can find some extra space for this warm-up, because it does take a little bit of room, and a place where you can do your push-ups on the ground when we finish. So now let's start this off. Okay, so now let's get warmed up for our fitness challenge. First thing are our washing machines. Put your arms out in front of your body, and we're going to twist side to side 10 times. And we're going to bring our shoulders perpendicular to our hips. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. All right, next, windmills. We'll stretch out our shoulder joint, and what we're going to do is be bringing our arms all the way up and back and being sure that our elbows reach our ears. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to want to do this 10 times. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. Now the other arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. Next, we're going to do our lower body. So we're going to do flamingos, and we're going to want to bring our knees up and hold them one at a time while balancing on the other leg. This will stretch out kind of the back part of our butts. So bring your knee up and balance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome job. Now we're going to do the other side. Bring your knee up and then balance. And it might be hard, but try to keep it if you can. And if you can't, you're going to want to find a wall or something that you can lean on to help prop yourself up with one of your arms, all right? So bring your knee up, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome job. Next, we're going to do kind of the same thing, but by bringing our feet back and balancing. So grab your ankle and then balance and hold. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you should really feel this through the front of your leg. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome job. Now let's switch and do the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. All right. Now we're kind of all limbered up, and let's get into our fitness challenge. Okay, so as always, I will start you off with a 5-second countdown to start. Then we will do the challenge for 30 seconds, and I'll give you a 5-second warning for when we're finishing. Then we're going to repeat this 2 more times after that, right? Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Good job, Alice. Nice modified scap push up there. Woo! Get it. We're almost halfway done with this first round. Woo! Way to go. That's some almost perfect form I see there. Awesome job. Way to go, Nick. Up. Way to go. A little more pressing up from the scapula, too. Okay, 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Awesome. Good job, y'all. Y'all did a great job that first round. Grab some water if you need it. I have mine right here. Get ready for our second round. We'll be starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Great job, Ian. Nice form. Good plank position there. Good job. Good job, Nicole. Nice. Great job holding it and pushing through your core. Good job, Ryan. Good job. Okay, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Awesome. Good job, y'all. I know these are a little bit different than what we're used to, but I promise that you'll get a lot out of doing this exercise. It's fun, too. Okay, getting ready for our last round. And see if you can't count these for me, because we'll do a show of hands when we finish, see who could get up to the highest numbers. All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Way to go, Kiana. Good job. Be sure you're pushing up through your shoulder blades, right? Yeah, perfect. Push up through your shoulder blades, everybody. I know we're getting tired because it's our last round. Way to go. All right. We're coming to a close. Good job, Gilbert. All right, 5, 4. Great job, Seth. 3, 2, 1. Stop. Give yourselves a round of applause. Y'all all did amazing. I'm really proud of y'all for that. I know it was a different workout, so it was probably a little bit more difficult because we had to learn a new movement, right? But that's part of why we do these fitness challenges. Okay, way to go, everyone. Now, show of hands, who got 10? Who was able to do 15? Ooh, good job, everybody. Who was able to do 20? Anyone? Ooh, we got some 20s. What about some 25s? Nice. Any 30s? Wow, we even got some of those. Wow, y'all all did an amazing job. I am really proud of y'all. All right. Now, as always, check the SOHI website or the Stay Fit Facebook group to make sure you get your challenge stars for the raffle coming up. And then we are going to jump right into our next health and wellness session. Oh, and way to go, Seth, on your 14. It's a new movement. We're all learning here. And so now we're going to jump right into our next health and wellness session. Today's topic is a lot of fun and applies to absolutely everybody listening. It's about joints, and we're just going to learn a little bit about how some of our joints work, right? Cool. All right. So, can any of you tell me by typing into the chat, just down there, what are our joints? What are joints? Ian is saying bones that are connected to your body. That's an interesting answer. There are no wrong answers here. I'm going to explain what the actual definition is as soon as I see where y'all are. Awesome. Nicole's saying different connectors. So where bones are connected, that's cool. Of a series of bones. Gilbert saying elbows. Renee saying legs and hands and our arms. Ryan is saying that the joints are in our skin. Yep, the joints are below our skin. Excuse me. And yeah, Seth says that there are different types of joints depending on how the bones are working together. That's true. Okay, so now let me show you what the books say joints are. Joints are, or a joint is, a place in the body where two bones meet up or join together, right? So if my fists are two different bones, and if we're just talking about bones, the joint is where they're connected, right? It's also a place in the body where movement happens. So where two bones join together, usually there's some type of movement. And if you think about your own body, you can think about where you move and where that movement happens. And odds are, where that movement happens is a joint. And there are many, many different types of joints. There are actually hundreds of joints in your body, and there are 3 or 4 main types that each one falls into. Can one of you give me an example of a joint that you know? Any joint in your body that you can name. Yep, Nicole says knees. That's a good one. It's a very big one, too. Your ankle. Yep. Your elbows. Seth says your ankle. That's awesome. Gilbert's saying your wrist and shoulders. Awesome. Nicole coming at us with knuckles. Very, very true. We don't think about those a lot, but they are joints. And Ryan pointing out, yeah, dinosaurs had joints too. They did, because dinosaurs had to move around and they had skeletons. If you have a skeleton, you have joints. Now, there are 3 main types of joints. And we'll go over all 3 now briefly, and then talk a little bit more about each one after. Ooh, Renee did a really cool one. Your jaw. Yes, your jaw is actually a joint. It has 2 joints, right? One here and one here on each side. So there are 3 main types of joints. The first type we're going to talk about is called a ball and socket joint. If you can anyone demo for me what they think a ball and socket joint looks like using their hands? Yeah, good job, Ian. Just like this, a ball into a socket, just like this. And it rotates and moves around. And these are joints where the bones rotate and move like a ball shoved into a socket, right? It's kind of, it'll be easier to think about when after I show you a cool picture of them. What about a hinge joint? These are the joints where your bones move like a door hinge. Can y'all maybe give me an example of a hinge joint using your hands? It also might help to think of them like a book, right? They do this. They go, yes, and they just open and close like this. And then the last one we have are pivot joints. And these are joints where the bones slide on a pivot and rotate on each other. So they kind of go like this. Yeah, good job. All right. Now, back to balls and socket joints. Can one of you give me an example of a ball and socket joint in your body? And I'll give you a hint. If you think about all of the joints in your body, which ones move around like a ball and a socket, right? Very good, Renee, coming in with hip. Yep, your hip joint, where your hip connects into your leg. If you stand up and you play around with it, whoa, I fell. If you stand up and you play around with it, that's moving around all kinds of different ways, which means it's like a ball in a socket. It moves the most. What else happened? Your neck, kind of parts of your neck, maybe we could consider that. Also, the biggest one, at least, or the biggest one that easiest to think of, yes, Renee, your shoulder, right? Because if you think of your shoulder bone and what it's shaped like, the end of it is actually a ball. Okay, so next slide. Here is a better picture of your actual shoulder and why we call these joints a ball and socket joint. You see? It's shaped like a ball, and it just goes into its little slot. Does that make sense? Cool. Now, a hinge joint, a lot easier, I think. Can any of you give me an example of a hinge joint? Good. Lots of good examples here. I'm seeing fingers, bicep curl, which I think is trying to say elbow, which is my favorite example of a hinge joint. The jaw also, yes, the jaw hinges a little bit. Good job, Gilbert, saying elbow. Awesome. Okay, so if we go to the next slide here, yeah, you'll see that a hinge joint is a good example of our hinge joint is just your elbows because they open and they close and they don't do anything else. See? And you can always, if you're ever curious about what type of joint any of your joints are, you can just bend it and see what the shapes it makes are, right? So if you can do a big circle with it, ball and socket. If it just goes like this, that's a hinge. And our last one, can you give me an example of a pivot joint? So remember, it's any joint that just kind of slides on itself, right? So anything that does this or a slight rotation, it just turns a little bit. Ooh, Alice, that is the perfect example. Can you put that into the chat? What are you playing with right there? If y'all can't see, Alice has actually pointed out her knee, and that is one of the few pivot joints in our body because it actually pivots and twists a little bit. And that is a perfect example of a pivot joint. It does happen a little bit in our hip as well, Ian, and a little bit in our spinal column, so our neck, our head. Joanne? Good job. Y'all are really doing a great job of getting this. Yes, Renee, perfect. On your wrist, right? Because it can do a slight little pivot like this. Yeah, sweet. Awesome. And yep, your ankles as well. And if we go to the next slide, we can see a cool little example of what that actually looks like. So you see how it just kind of has a slight rotation there because it just fits around it and it rotates. Just like that. But only a little bit. Awesome. Thank y'all, everybody. I super appreciate y'all listening to this. Hopefully y'all got a little bit of cool info out of it. Now you can maybe classify some of your own joints, or when you start exploring what they are, you can know the names of them. We will see you tomorrow for yoga with Linda. The ID for that is 815-3406-5939. And that's Wednesday, December 16th at 10 a.m. Special morning time tomorrow for yoga. All right. Thank y'all so much for coming, everybody. Y'all have an amazing day and enjoy your talk story time.